Hello everyone, Amanda here. Thank you for joining me. I've got another freebie for you. This is freebie 3. I'm giving 4 away throughout the month of August. And I'm going to show you these free papers. They are linked below. I'm going to show you the papers, and then in the second half I'm going to show you what we're making, and I'm going to show you how to make it step by step. Okay, so you've got these 4 beautiful background papers, 2 chevrons and 2 dots that coordinate. I did the pink to go with the blue, and then I did this vanilla or pale lemon colour to go with the mint. But you can coordinate them however, you know, it draws your eye. I've printed these on lightweight cardstock. Perfect for creating any quick embellishments, and these colours would go with anything. Then I've given you some embellishments, and I've given you 4 of each embellishment, so that with one print run, okay, one print those, print these, you'll be able to create a minimum of 4 of these items in one print run. Okay, I have used lightweight cardstock so that it's a little bit sturdier. So you've got butterflies, you have a choice of 2 colours there. You've got flowers, choice of 2 colours. You've got some labels, some mini tags, and some mini bingo cards. It's enough for this little project, okay? And then I've even given you just a few basic words that are on a lightly coloured coffee-dyed background. So let's see what we can make with just these few simple pages and images. Dokily, so your first thing you want to do is do all of your fussy cutting. Don't procrastinate it, just do it. Nothing will get wasted, because anything you don't use on this little project, you can put in your little box of tricks and use on something else. So I fussy cut them all, and I've inked them with shadow grey instead of vintage photo. Okay, there's my words ready. Move those out of the way. Then you want to trim the borders off of your printable papers. And you'd want to cut, I've already cut mine and I forgot to film it. You want to cut them all, if you put one sheet on top of the other, so pretend this is A4, put one sheet on top of the other of 2 coordinating colours and cut them to 2.5 inches wide. Okay, so just keep cutting 2.5 inches until you've got it done, and you'll be left with a strip that's that wide of the 2 papers. Put them to one side, so 2.5 inches. Then you want one for your background. I'm going to have blue. You want one for your foreground. I'm going to have pink. And then you want another one for your pockets. I'm going to have blue again. Okay. And then these strips here I'll use to make more. Okay. And I've done them in I've done all the colours. So they're all in 2.5 inch strips to start with. Super simple. 2.5 inch strips, the width of your paper. Okay, nothing difficult there. So you want, first of all, you want to get one, and this is going to be your base. So you want to cut your base to 6.5 inches. Save that, because you could make a little mini tag out of it by trimming the edges. You could make a label with it. Save it, okay? And then you want to score this piece at 2.5 and 5.5. Right, just move my trimmer. Fold and burnish those folds. Where's my, there we go. And then you can round the bottom corners of this top flap with a 1/2 inch corner rounder. Okay, I've printed on some waste card here. Then what you want to do is add your paper clip. So long as it fits in there, okay? As long as it fits and it's not protruding down here. Doesn't matter what size you use. Do I want the thin bit at the front and the fat bit at the back? I'm going to put the thinner bit at the front and the fatter bit at the back. That's all you need to do. So, yeah. So now you're going to get your coordinating top layer, which at the moment measures exactly the same, 2.5. You need to just reduce that by 1/4 inch. We cut everything to 2.5 to start with, just to make it easier. Okay, so trim that to 2.25. this measured 6.5, so we want to go down 1/4 inch, so it wants to be 6 1/4. Okay, save that piece. All right, you want to round one end again with your 1/2 inch, like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add glue all over this. Alright. And you're going to layer it on there with a nice border, nice increment. You can see you've got 1/4 inch. Okay. Then I've got too much glue as always. Then fold it over the top of your paper clip, and it will continue to layer the rest of your cardstock. Okay. Give it a good press and a good burnish. I could have done the digitals with all the folding lines, so all you have to do is cut it out, but how boring's that? If you learn how to make them, then you can make them out of anything. Okay, perfect. So now this bottom piece here, you can fold. Sorry if you can hear my dog woofing. He's doing that in his sleep. He's sleep woofing. Glue this bottom bit here. Benj. And fold it over and glue that down. Okay, make sure that you've not glued the whole thing shut. Right, so now you want to grab the other coordinating piece. Okay, again, they're all cut to 2.5 inches. So leaving that at 2.5 inches, we're going to cut at 3, and we want 2. I can't remember if I said, but I will leave all of the measurements and the scores in the description box below. Whilst it's on the 3 inch length there, you want to score at 1/2 inch there. Turn it anti-clockwise once, score 1/2 inch, turn anti-clockwise, 1/2 inch. Do the same with this one. So 1/2 inch, turn it anti-clockwise, 1/2 inch, turn it anti-clockwise, 1/2 inch. So you're basically scoring 1/2 inch on the two short sides and on one long side. Okay. Fold and burnish those score lines on both pieces. Then unfold them, put them both together, and where you don't have a score line there, grab a 1 inch circle punch. You can omit this part if you don't have one. Make sure they're lined up, and you should be able to punch them both at the same time. And these little tricks make mask making faster. Then where the score lines intersect, you're going to cut across the X, straight across the X to make some little pockets, straight across the X. Then just turn them over, fold them in, and make sure they don't overlap. Otherwise they won't lay flat, they'll be bulky. Okay, that's fine. You can ink them if you desire. I've got no desire. No desire to ink out. Excuse me, I've got a very chesty cough. I don't know where it's come from. I've got an inkling. It's from the aircon when I was on holiday. Right, so one pocket we're going to glue landscape. Okay, with the opening on the right side. And we're going to layer it more or less central. More or less central. Okay, too much glue there, Amanda. Far too much glue. I always do use too much, I am sorry. Okay, and then with one of our scrap pieces, I'm going to come in with my tag punch. And I should just about have enough to make myself a little tab. I'm going to fold that in half. I'm going to glue it closed. you don't have one of these, cut yourself a piece of cardstock 1.5 by 1, then fold it in half and round the corners, and that will make you a nice little tab. Okay, so when that's dry, we're not going to do it like we normally do tabs. We're going to just glue the bottom half of it. I'll just get rid of some of that, and we're just going to glue it on the back. So I'm lining it up central and I'm gluing it on the back before I put the next pocket on. Okay, and what this does is it makes it easier to pull the hidden paper clip on and off your page. And also you've got yourself a little tab that you can decorate further with a little eyelet, and you could hang a little charm off. Okay, right, so that needs to be you need that to be dry. Okay, so let's just leave that alone. And then this pocket here, we're going to do portrait on the back. And I'm going to layer it quite close to the bottom with an even increment, side, side and bottom. Okay, side, side and bottom. Right, so once all that's dry, that is going to be your hidden paper clip. And if I just grab a journal, which I don't have, so I'm going to use this piece of card here, this will clip because we folded that over. It's not going to get stuck, and that will go on your page. And when your tab is dry, that will help you pull it off the page as well. Okay, right, nothing's dry here, so bear with me. Nothing's dry. I don't want anything moving. Right, so let me just try and remove that from there. So now we can decorate them. Let it dry in between, okay? Otherwise your bits will move about. But I don't have time for that. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a little word, I think. Okay, and this is where you can use up those scraps as well to layer your words. Okay. So what have we got there? We've got pink and blue, pink and blue. I think I want it on there. I think I'm going to have pink. So I'm going to find a little bit of my pink scraps here. And I'm going to ink my word, glue my word even. I'm not inking it, I'm gluing it. And I'm going to layer it on one of my scraps. Nothing will go to waste. And then trim that. I've not cut that anywhere near straight. Anywhere near, it's never seen straight in a month of Sundays. Okay, but it's fine. Okay, so I'll just bob that to one side. Then I'm going to decide how I'm going to decorate it. Now, I would do this when all of the pockets and everything are dry. Okay, so let's have a look. What can I put in these little pockets? Let me get my little hole punch. So on the crocodile, you've got different sizes of holes. You've got the smaller one and the larger one. So I'm just going to use that smaller hole there and punch a little hole in that one. Get out. And a little hole in that one. Get off. Okay, so I think I'll have a bingo card in there. Make sure you've not glued it shut. Little bingo card in there. Yeah. Now, when these are on the sheet, like I showed you, if you want to decorate the front of these pockets with these elements, or you want your flowers or your butterflies smaller, print them to a page. They will make the butterflies smaller. Okay. So if you want, and I've made them that size on purpose, then it's more functional. So you can use these to put them in the pockets, or you can print two to a page, get them smaller and use them to decorate the front, okay? But look, see, that can go in there. And I've got one with a hole, that can go in there. How stinking cute is that? I'm sorry, but that is adorable. And then you've got these little labels as well. Again, you could print these two to a page. And now you can use these to help you decorate. I'm going to stick one on the back here. Let's have a look. And you can decorate them however you like. I'm going to stick that little label there. Too much glue. Okay, and then I'm going to add maybe a butterfly like so. Okay. Butterfly like that. If you want to keep it within the constraints of the pocket so it's not peeking out, then do so. I don't mind if they peek out a bit. I think it looks cute. Okay, so that's that one. Turn it around. Let's do the front of here. So let's think of some combinations. So again, we could add the ticket. We can add a flower. Okay, like that. We could add, if we shrink the butterflies down to a page, we can add a little butterfly. Okay. Or we could add the tags and add the butterfly like so again. Okay, and then our little word. Or you could put the tag that way and put a butterfly across the middle. There's loads of different ways you could do it. All right, I think I might have a flower on this one. So let's have our tag. Tag. Flower. You could have that flower. Those are lovely out there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm going to have this. Am I going to have this one? No, I'm going to have the blue so that my butterfly stands out better. So blue flower here. And then I've printed my my glue bottle's leaking. Printed my butterflies to a page so that they're smaller, and I can have that, like, where shall I have it? Up there? I have it up there. Okay. Then I've got my word. Stick that on there. Where do I want it? I'm going to have it just right in the middle, overlaying the pocket, so you've got lots of layers. If you ink things, they'll stand out more. And there's your lovely, cute little hidden paper clip, decorated on both sides with little pockets. Add some twine to the little doofers, add an eyelet to there, do what you like, and there you go. Once that's dry, that will slide in and out of your journal with ease, and you can use that tab there. Dare I pull it? Has it dried? I don't know if it's dried. You can use that tab, yes it has, to pull it off again. So there you go, quick and easy, plus you've got all of the elements that you need. Go and make a heap. Have some fun, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Big love to you all. Bye for now.